Greta Thunberg, the Swedish climate activist, has become a global symbol of youth-led environmental movements. Since her first solo protest outside the Swedish parliament in 2018, she has sparked a worldwide climate revolution. By 2025, the world finds itself at a crossroads in the fight against climate change. Greta Thunberg's climate plea has ignited a global movement, but as we approach 2025, the question remains: is the world finally listening? While significant progress has been made, the fight for a sustainable future is far from over. Despite resistance and criticism, Greta's passionate plea for action has resonated across the globe. As world leaders continue to grapple with environmental issues, the question remains: is the world finally listening to Greta Thunberg's climate plea? Let's explore the current landscape of climate action and Greta's role in shaping the future. Be sure to like and subscribe for more insights into her journey and the fight for the planet. 1. The early days of Greta Thunberg's activism. Greta Thunberg's rise to global prominence began in 2018 when, at just 15 years old, she decided to strike from school every Friday to protest climate inaction. She started the movement called Fridays for Future, which quickly gained international traction. Her blunt, direct speeches and unwavering commitment to the climate crisis drew attention worldwide. Greta's youthful energy and simple yet powerful message of "Act Now" resonated with millions. She demanded that leaders take immediate action on climate change to ensure a livable future. Thunberg's early activism laid the foundation for what would become one of the most influential global movements in modern history. Her journey to prominence was a direct challenge to political leaders who had failed to act on climate change. In the years following, Greta's influence continued to grow exponentially. 2. The Global Fridays for Future movement. Fridays for Future became an international youth-driven movement inspired by Greta's solo protests. By 2025, the movement has organized millions of strikes, rallies, and campaigns across the globe. Greta's message, amplified by passionate youth, called for radical climate action and a transition to sustainable energy. The movement encouraged young people to demand climate justice and pressurized governments to adopt stronger environmental policies. These global protests not only mobilized youth, but also attracted the attention of climate experts, scientists, and politicians. The movement sparked widespread media coverage, ensuring that the climate crisis stayed in the public eye. Fridays for Future empowered individuals, especially students, to take responsibility for the planet's future. Greta's unwavering leadership and commitment to the cause made her the face of this movement. 3. Greta's impact on climate policy and activism. By 2025, Greta's influence on global climate policies is undeniable. Her speeches at the United Nations and various international forums continue to urge world leaders to take meaningful action. Greta has called out the inaction of governments and corporations, demanding they fulfill their climate pledges. She has used her platform to advocate for bold policies like carbon taxes, renewable energy investment, and cutting emissions to net zero by 2050. Greta's relentless criticism of world leaders and their failure to meet environmental targets has put pressure on policymakers. Her actions have prompted several countries to pledge more ambitious goals for tackling climate change. However, despite progress, many still argue that not enough is being done. Greta's plea for immediate action continues to resonate in discussions about environmental justice. 4. The backlash against Greta Thunberg. While Greta's activism has earned her widespread acclaim, it has also led to significant backlash. Politicians, media outlets, and climate change skeptics have criticized her for being too outspoken and naive. Some accuse her of being manipulated or of promoting unrealistic goals. However, despite criticisms, Greta has remained steadfast in her commitment to climate action. She has faced personal attacks and insults, but has continued to push forward with her message. Many argue that the backlash against her is a result of her challenge to the status quo, and not her actions themselves. Greta's critics have often been those invested in maintaining traditional economic systems that harm the environment. Nevertheless, Greta has built resilience against these attacks and remains a powerful voice in the global climate discourse. 5. Greta's influence on world leaders. As of 2025, Greta's influence on world leaders has been significant, but not always embraced. Her blunt messages at global forums, such as the United Nations Climate Change Conference, have been aimed at those in power. She has called out world leaders, especially those from major carbon-emitting countries, for their lack of action on climate change. Some leaders have responded positively, pledging more aggressive climate targets and joining initiatives like the Paris Agreement. However, many world leaders have yet to fully align their policies with the urgency Greta demands. Greta's presence at international climate talks has kept the pressure on those in power, reminding them of their responsibility to future generations. The support Greta has garnered from youth movements has forced politicians to reevaluate their climate strategies. By 2025, Greta's role in global climate activism has forced the issue of climate change to the forefront of political agendas. 6. Greta's role in the media and social media influence. Greta has leveraged the power of social media to amplify her climate message. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok have allowed her to directly engage with her followers and raise awareness about environmental issues. Her ability to go viral has played a major role in spreading her message to millions worldwide. Through social media, Greta has been able to mobilize global youth movements, organize events, and keep climate issues in the public eye. She has used her platforms to hold political leaders accountable, challenge corporate interests, and promote environmental advocacy. Greta's online presence has allowed her to bypass traditional media channels, giving her a direct voice to the public. Her influence has only grown as more people turn to social media for real-time information. Greta's ability to connect with young people through digital platforms has ensured her relevance in the fight for climate justice. 7. Greta Thunberg's legacy in 2025. By 2025, Greta Thunberg's legacy is cemented as one of the most influential environmental figures of the 21st century. Her unwavering commitment to the climate cause has inspired a new generation of activists. Greta has become a symbol of youth-driven environmental movements, showing that age is no barrier to leading change. Her impact is not limited to the Fridays for Future movement. It extends to the way people around the world view climate change. She has altered the discourse around environmental activism, turning it into a global priority. Greta's legacy will continue to inspire climate action for decades to come. Her influence has shifted global conversations and put the climate crisis at the center of political debate. Her legacy is not just about what she has achieved, but also about the collective efforts she has inspired. Greta Thunberg's climate plea has ignited a global movement, but as we approach 2025, the question remains: is the world finally listening? While significant progress has been made, the fight for a sustainable future is far from over. Greta's influence continues to inspire millions, and her role in shaping the climate conversation is undeniable. However, the future will depend on whether global leaders are willing to act on her message. Stay tuned and like this video. And be sure to subscribe for more updates on Greta's journey and the ongoing fight for the planet.